Welcome tonight, guys. Advocates for Justice Paralegal School. We provide the tools and you guys do the work. I'm Coach Neighbors and I'm excited anytime I can get folks to listen to me. So, welcome to the show tonight. We got a lot to talk about. As a matter of fact, after putting together tonight's presentation and the notes for tonight's presentation, it became apparent to me that I don't think we're going to make it through everything that I put on the list. So the first conversation that we're going to be having is going to take a minute, and we will get to that. Tonight we're going to talk about several subjects, but we're going to start out with the first one. And the first subject that we're going to talk about tonight is something that is a question that drove me to drinking. Well, okay, it drove me to where I'm at today. And I think a lot of you have the same question. And the question is, how the hell can the court ignore everything? Ignore your rights, ignore your pleadings. Then the attorneys don't have to answer to anything. They just mow right over you, ignore everything. So how can that happen? How can the court have jurisdiction when everything that filed in the case is fraud? They don't file the stinking original complaint for the foreclosure. They don't have an injured party. They don't have anything signed by the lender. They don't have diddly squat. So we're gonna unravel how they can do what they're doing, and well, we already provide options. I hope when we unravel and you see what they're doing, you'll understand more. The concepts and the strategies that we use will have more value, and so that's what we're going to do tonight. But first, we got to do the stuff. You need to click on the ad so I can get paid for giving this free information. You need to ring the bell so that you get notifications when it's time to rock and roll. Please hit the like button and leave a comment and share. Don't forget to share all of our stuff. Okay, now it's time to get to work. Okay. We got the preliminaries out of the way. Hey, Gladstone, welcome to the show tonight. Gladstone and his wife enrolled in online course and bought some extra stuff too. And they're getting ready to make splash. So welcome to the show tonight, guys. Welcome to the show, Ms. Jackson. Welcome to have you. It seems like collusion. Well, yeah, that's an understatement there. Most people don't realize that the lender doesn't sign. It's not the lender attacking you. The person that's attacking you is the one that signed the papers that used to come after you. And if you check and in judicial foreclosure, it'd be the petition, the complaint, or whatever. You go check it if you need to, and you'll see it's only signed by the attorney. And the attorney states right on there he's acting as a third-party debt collector. But they're lying about the lender. He is acting as a third-party debt collector, but he's lying about who he's collecting for. That's the lie. So, well, part of the lie. And people don't realize by the time you're welcome, by the time you're in foreclosure, it's not the lender anymore. They've done a charge-off process or whatever, what they do, and then they sell your stuff to third-party debt collectors, and they're the ones coming after you. And that's obvious. We have a harassment campaign that we do against the attorneys, and I've had several people that just call me up laughing. They're like, we call the bank 5 times a day. Yeah, and they told us at the end, you need to contact the attorneys. We don't have anything to do with it anymore. You need to contact the attorneys. Hey, Marissa, welcome to the show. It's nice to see some new people up in here. MJ said the lenders also borrows for what they buy from borrowers. Well, I don't know what you're saying there. Um, the lenders don't borrow anything, and as far as I'm concerned, Jim, the lenders do, or what they do is they exchange. When you leave the table, they will stamp pay to the order of on the promissory note, and sometimes on the mortgage deed also, and process it through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits. That's what they do. It's no money. And according to Modern Money Mechanics publication, they state that the lender is getting 9 times the amount that goes into a demand deposit account under your name, and then that one amount is written to buy the alleged property. And then the problem is, okay, I'm getting. And then the problem is that when you're done, they do real estate deed fraud. Your state law mandates that the title is supposed to be delivered to you. It's supposed to be delivered. The deed's supposed to be delivered to you after the sale, but they don't do that. They do what they call their constructive delivery, and they registered in their registered in their office, and they send you a copy of the deed. Well, I think it's pretty much illegal, a copy of security, but they do it anyway. They send you a copy of it, so you think you're in control, but you're not. And most people don't realize that the very first illegal lien that was placed against your property was a mortgage lien. Think about it. If there were several people that owned property, all of those owners would have to be present in order for that property to be sold or whatever. All of the owners would have to be present to sign, right? So the fact that they accepted your signature the fact that they accepted the bank accepted your signature on the mortgage lien proves that you own the property for a very short amount of time before you gave it away back. Yeah. So, and I have people that come on Facebook, and idiots, attorneys or whatever, they get really, really pissed when the truth is getting out there. They get really pissed, and that's what I tell them. I said, you guys can just I'm not as smart as you guys, so just let me know how that works. Because right now, from the way I see it, the fact that the lender accepted your signature on the paperwork shows that you own the property, or wouldn't they not have been able to accept your signature? So it's pretty clear. And in my program, we like to come in the door with stuff they don't want to argue about, because when the arguing is done, their buddy judge gets to help them. We already know how their program is. We already know how their program is structured. So Rita, you can go to my website. I'll put a link to it here and take a look at your options. You have to understand what we do here, because I don't really assistance you. You have the opportunity to purchase the lawsuit package that you need. And I do some coaching, a little bit of coaching. I'm not an attorney, and I don't want anybody thinking I am an attorney. So I think I'd rather call me some bad words before you call me an attorney. So you can go to my website here, Lynn. I'll put a there you go. You can go there and take a look at your options. And I would suggest that you click on the link and watch the instructional videos that's in the offer. So you'll have an idea of what's involved in all of that. So that would be what I would suggest. And I'm going to leave that up there for a minute, as long as it's not covering my face, right? Okay, sorry. Let me stay focused. I know you guys didn't come tonight to look at my face. So let's get back on the subject here. In order to understand what's going on in court with us today, you must understand the difference between statutes at large and revised codes and statutes. Now, revised codes and statutes we talk about all the time. Statutes at large, I haven't talked about that much. And the funny thing is, okay, this is not funny, but it's kind of funny. Okay, so my coach that taught me and is helping me learn told me a long time ago, you need to study statutes at large. You need to start using the statutes at large. And I'm, what the hell is a statute at large? So, Denny, if you listen to this, I get it now, and I'm about to get on that. And so basically, we've been working way too hard. So anyway, we're gonna make it a little bit easier here with this new stuff. So let's just figure out what the hell is the difference between the statutes at large and the revised codes and statutes. So guys, tonight you'll be able to ask questions at the end, but I'm going to kind of stick to the program here. You guys can say what you want. If I think I need to post it so everyone can see, I will. I want to stay focused so that I can get the learning part done, because that's what this is about right now. So you can save your comments and your questions, and I'll ask them later. You can make comments anytime, and I'm not going to kill you. But anyway, that way I can get through this, because I got a lot to talk about tonight. And this is really, really important, because this is going to help you understand why the court don't have jurisdiction. It's also going to help you understand why my stuff is different and don't make sense and don't really talk about all the stuff that you want to talk about most of the time. So this is critical to digest and understand. So let's get started here. In 1933, the federal government convinced Congress to switch from the statutes at large, and these are the laws that were woven from the Constitution. We switched from them over to statutes and revised codes and statutes. These are corporate rules called public policy. And we talked a little bit about this when we're talking about the fact that the foreclosure statute is unconstitutional because the statute does not have the necessary elements to be considered a valid law. That's kind of what we're about to get to right here. But we're going to understand that how it started at the gate in 1933. That was pretty much at the gate. So the government was able to hide the laws. They convinced Congress to switch over from the statutes at large to the revised codes and statutes. And the government was able to hide the laws that gave people a chance in court. And not only hide the laws, they tricked us into believing, they tricked everyone into believing that we have rights when we go to court. And you believe that shit, you believe this stuff, until you get in court and they start stomping on your face. I know you guys know what I'm talking about here. Can I get an amen? Okay, sorry. That church is tomorrow. Okay, so I bet you're asking yourself, why would your state agree to that crap? Well, if you really must ask, I'm going to have to send you to the bench. The bench is that way about 75 yards, 20 yards off of the sidewalk. Well, not the sidewalk. It's like, I don't know, a balcony, off the balcony. Yeah, so that's where the bench is. And so the reason they do it is for the money. The money. The money, money, money. You guys heard the money song. So the money. So what do you mean the money? Well, let me see. Stop and think about it. How many checks you wrote to state agencies last month? Or clicked the electronic payment system last month for free money, like property tax, state tax, yeah, tickets, parking tickets, zoning code issues. All of that stuff started after they tricked you into registering your deed in their office. Now, here's the stinking part, okay? The stinking part is there's no law. There is no law that forces anybody to register their deed in their office. And I have people in one of my foreclosure rescue groups. I have people in that group from Texas who have all the documentation to prove that their home was paid for. They got the deed, the lien release, all that stuff, but they're in foreclosure. So how the hell can they be in foreclosure? Well, I actually had them don't send me your stuff, because I get real pissed when people send me their stuff. But I had these guys send me their stuff because this was intriguing to me. And until I understood this, I would not be able to structure a package that's going to help people in non-judicial foreclosures. So they sent me their stuff, and I went, and what I found was the attorneys had a fake assignment. So the fake assignment, where do you get the information to fill out the property information to fill out this fake assignment to file against someone's property? Come on now, keep up. From the county recorder's office. That's where you get. The county recorder's office opens up your property information to anybody. I have read on the internet where people from other countries have logged in, had access to their stuff, and actually took over people's property. They've done a fake assignment, done it for whatever. I don't know what all they do, because I don't do I don't do criminal stuff, but I know that they were doing this, and people were being interviewed on YouTube that had their property taken over and sold by someone from another country, all because they had access to your property information in the county recorder's office. Now, anybody that thinks I'm full of hot air, step up to the plate. And while we're talking about this, I might as well just go on down the road. Everybody thinks it's the lender foreclosing on you. It's not the lender. I'm just going to tell you, it's the damn state. It's the state foreclosing on you. Think about it. So all those agencies that are attacking you, the tax assessor's office, the freaking zoning coding, the freaking property tax, all of those people are licensed by the state to come after you. They need to run your butt off their property. I know you think it's your property, but no, it's not your property, because all you got is a copy of the deed, which means absolutely nothing. Copy of the deed means absolutely nothing. And that's why they sent it to you. They need to get you guys off their property so they can take over it and turn it into fancy Airbnbs or whatever they're doing in California. No, it's not. It's not the clerk. It's all of them. They have this system structured to do this. This is called their conventional program. And I had someone tell me yesterday, I don't know what you kill stuff. I don't like to talk about none of that, because I'm stirring up enough trouble. So I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about killing. I'm just talking about punching. So slow down, JM there. You're scaring me, man. I'll have to turn you in. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, yeah. That's all right. Just keep it, I've stirred up enough trouble. I don't want people to think I'm telling anybody to go kill anybody, because that would be very bad for me. Oh, if you notice, I'm really dark. Okay, they don't like me anyway. Okay, sorry. But we're not talking about this to get people riled up. We're talking about this because we got something for them. Sorry. So statutes and revised codes do not contain the three elements a state constitution mandates must be present to be a valid law. And to be a real law, there must be an enacting clause, which tells people from what authority the law came from and who's subject to following it. That's like the most important part. There must be a body and there must be a title. And the state constitution states all laws are to be enacted. However, Title 18 has no enacting clause and no title, only what they're calling a body. And so what's Title 18 got to do with it? It don't have nothing to do with anything, except that in my studying, I ran across that. And the reason I'm throwing it on the table right now, because there's a lot of people that are in prison over Title 18. And if they didn't injure anybody, they shouldn't be, because Title 18 was never enacted, has no enact clause and no title. And I actually have a copy of the document that shows that it didn't get ratified. There was a problem with the vote or something. Blah, 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 blah. So I just I just throw that out there for free because I can. So eventually, I'm going to have a playlist that's going to be called Expert Advice. And these are the kind of things that I'm going to talk about in that playlist. And there'll be videos on my YouTube channel. And in that video playlist, I'll have things like we're talking about tonight, updates. But they're going to be like 6 to 10 minutes long. They're not going to be real long videos like my live stream is when I get started talking. So I'm going to have to put a clamp on my. Anyway, so there are a lot of people in prison on Title 18, and they could be getting out if they knew this and had the courage to. And you know what? And when you're in prison, the only stuff they let you look up are the revised codes and statutes. They do not provide you access to the statute at large. No. And why? Well, if they had access to that, they would know that criminal jurisdiction is derived from the statutes. And we already just said the statutes are a piece of crap. So anybody facing criminal jurisdiction, criminal attack, should know that they don't have the court don't have jurisdiction, because criminal jurisdiction is derived from unless you hurt somebody. If you hurt somebody or damage their property, then you're on your own. I don't know what to say for you, but there's a lot of people that are facing this, and their attorneys threw them under the bus. They're not U.S. citizens. They're citizens of the Republic state they were born in. Nobody can be a U.S. citizen, and I'm just going to throw it out there because nobody can be born in a fake corporation. Well, yeah. So I don't do much with the bond releasing and all of that stuff, and I don't have very much. I don't have very much respect for the. I don't have very much respect for the administrative processes and all of those things, because they don't help you. Anytime that you got to ask the court for something, in the end, you must want to kiss your butt goodbye. That's the way I see it. And that's why I do what I do. Well, one of the reasons, the main reason I do what I do is because I like making attorneys pay for what my family had to go through. So there you go. So I'm going to be making a playlist. A new playlist is going to be called Expert Advice. I'm trying to figure out what I want to call it. So I'm going to call it Expert Advice. And in that playlist, I'm going to be talking about the things that you need to know that's going to help you control the process. Rita, I just spent a whole hour answering your question, but I'm going to let you go do your homework, sweetie. Okay, you need to go do your homework, and you guys will find out. I don't spend much time. I had a guy ask me yesterday, so what's the percentage? How much of a percentage, and that we win, and all that. I was like, dude, I'm not an attorney. I'm an educator. I help educate people. I provide the tools that you need and point you to the door, and hopefully I won't have to push you to the door. But I don't keep track, so you can go look at my reviews. I ask people for a review in the beginning after they review the documents, to leave me a review about the value of the documents or whatever, and then to do a follow-up after you use them. I think that's fair, because when you use my stuff, it's not like you're going to go to court and wait for the judge to rule on my stuff. Okay, that's not going to happen. Our goal is to make sure you're not going into court, and that's the way we roll. And the property tax thing, people ask me a lot about that. I have a couple of nice reviews for the property tax package. In most cases, people are not allowed to talk to me after a certain period of time. So you can go figure that out. I don't care. As long as they're not leaving anything that my stuff was a piece of crap and they got beat up, I'm good. So I don't really spend a lot of time trying to prove anybody anything, okay? Because at the end of the day, the stuff that I put on the table should work hands down, if not for the fraud, the lies, and people's fear, okay? So because people are too scared to step up to the plate and follow through and sue the judge or do whatever is next, it's not a reason that I should take a hit. So I don't even have nothing to do with that. And to be honest, I'm interested in working with people who can see the value in what we're doing and understand and are willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, because if you're not willing to do whatever it takes, you shouldn't even do this because you're gonna piss them off and they're gonna stomp you in the face. Only if you're willing to do whatever it takes. So that's how I answer that. Do your homework, Anita. Go do your homework. Yeah, you'll find out when you start checking a lot of stuff. It's not ratified. A lot of stuff, especially on the state level, does not have enacting clauses, does not have titles, and does not have bodies. And while we're talking about it, let's use the traffic court. Okay, traffic court. You go on. Why is traffic court up the street? Okay, now it's going down. Why is traffic court up the street and not connected? Oh, because traffic municipal court gets its jurisdiction, and you can check your state court clerk's manual, because I check mine to get this information. Municipal court gets its jurisdiction from a stinking city ordinance. From a city ordinance. Are you kidding me right now? How the hell can a corporation give itself judicial authority to be taking people's money and locking them up and throwing them in jail? Oh, they're doing it all day long because we're stupid. But it's time to stop being stupid. So my coach has been telling me for the longest time to learn the statutes at large. And I'm just going to be honest. I was telling, because he might be listening to and he's in the group too. He's in one of my groups too. I'm just going to be honest. I was telling him and thinking the same stuff that you guys tell me when you're trying to tell me all of this stuff. And I'm telling you, no, we're going to use the Administrative Procedures Act, or we're going to go after them for this or that. We'll put your little stuff over here on the side, but that's not what we're going to focus on. And people get, oh man, they just thought, well, wait a minute. Okay, so people call me for help, and then they tell me what I need to help them do. And I'm like scratching my head. No, that's not the way this works. You call me for help, then I tell you what you need to do. And you can decide you want to do it or not, but you're not going to tell me what to do, because that's not the way it works. And I would not want to take your money if you're telling me what to do. That's what you do, attorneys. And then you tell them what to do. Well, attorneys don't know what the hell they're supposed to be doing either. Well, I know what you're supposed to be doing here, because this program I put together myself. Well, excuse me. I put together myself with the help of, there are almost 600 people in our private Facebook pages that have been using my stuff and providing me real-time feedback that allowed me to change stuff, add stuff, take stuff out, do different things. And that's why the non-judicial foreclosure defense lawsuit package has, I know, like 26 or 27, I think, different documents in it. And sometimes when people open them up, I have to tell them to breathe in the paper bag. Because I'm like, dude, just relax. You can only do one thing at a time. Okay. You don't need to relax because there's 100. What I've done is I put together the package that you would need for any situation along the way. And that way you can buy the package and you don't have to come back and buy something else and buy something else and buy something else. All the other else's that we have needed, I included them. So I have one package, and I made it right now. I mean, I started out at 1,700, then I went down to 850, then I came down to 500 during the pandemic, and now I'm down to $400 for the package. You're getting opportunity to fight your foreclosure for $400, and I still got people calling me on the phone asking me how many have we won. I'm like, dude, how many places have you got a chance to get something for $400 that didn't come from a bar member? Okay. Oh wait, let me change that. How many chances you have an opportunity to get something to fight your foreclosure? Stop your foreclosure for $400 coming from someone who hates attorneys. Yeah. I don't mind throwing it out there because they know. And yeah, they got me kicked off of Facebook a couple of times. So I figured out how that goes. They come in talking crap, and then when I jam them up, they whine. So I just let them talk them crap. Anita, you gotta go do your homework, hon. You need to go do your homework. Patriot Nana. So what's huge? What are you talking about? I'm talking about a whole bunch of stuff from all over the place. Or are you just talking about the subject in general tonight? I knew we were going to go over on this one because this is if you don't understand this, this concept that we're talking tonight, then you're going to struggle. Because if you don't understand, their conventional program was structured for you to do all of the things that they want you to do. Athena. Okay, I'm sorry, hon. I'm trying to pronounce it right. Well, I'm trying to stay on track and not get too carried away. So you can do your homework and you can email me your questions after you watch an instructional video at Athena. And you can email any questions after you watch the instructional video. Otherwise, I don't have time to start from the beginning. I'm already starting from 1933 here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so that's what you need to do. If you're in judicial or non-judicial foreclosure, you should go to the website and click on the links and watch the videos. I have the videos in the offer for each one. The videos are also on my website, or excuse me, the videos are also on my YouTube channel and in the instructional video playlist. All of the videos on my YouTube channel are divided into playlist. And the instructional video playlist has the instructional video for each of the lawsuit packages that I have. So you go to the instructional video playlist and then you would match the name of the zip file, because you can have a lawsuit package with several zip files. So anytime that you have a zip file that you got to open up to get the stuff inside, you should watch the video on how to operate that zip file, how to use the documents in that zip file. Okay, that's how that works. Now, one other thing, I'm going to leave another tip, 2 tips. The first one is when you're working on a document, when you open it, when you pull it out of the zip file and you open it up, you should copy and paste the whole thing and put it in another Word. And then close that up and save it in its original form. Because when you close that zip file up, it's going to delete any changes that you made. So if you spend 2 hours working on all these changes and you don't copy and paste it over here before you start working on it and close that up, then you're going to close it up and lose all. I know this from from experience, and people calling me all freaked out. So I try to mention it, so I'm mentioning it right now. Okay, so JM is laughing now, so that's good because he was killing some people. No, I get it, man. I get it. When you stop and you visualize how bad you've been screwed, and they're trying to throw you off your property and your family out in the street, and they ain't done nothing that they're supposed to be doing to be able to give them permission to do that. Authority, jurisdiction, nothing. It's sad. It's sad. But I tell you, these attorneys, man, they're lazy because they always count on each other to get their back. But I'll tell you, they set up a pretty damn slick ass program. Been kicking our ass for 150 years, maybe 160. I don't know. Yeah, but they didn't plan on the internet because the internet's making it a little more. It's leveling the playing field just a little bit. Well, a lot for crazy people that live on it studying all the time. And their life goal is teaching people how to punch attorneys in the face. Okay. That's what we do, Jim. We teach people how to punch attorneys in the face in court with your stuff. So my coach has been telling me to learn the statute at large, and I'm finally figuring it out. And what I'm figuring out is we've been working way too hard up in here. So let's get back on track. So the switch from the statutes at large was a turning point where people lost our civil rights in court. To defend against fraud, which is the foundation for most of their cases, We must attack the government's administrative procedures and processes and local rules that violate your right to due process. That's what we do in our documents. And people have the hardest time understanding that because we don't hardly talk about the stuff that they want to talk about, which is the stuff you think that you need to talk about. We don't. That's a waste. That stuff's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because until you make the court be fair with you, you don't have a chance in hell. Everybody's worried about they said it didn't pay, what the servicer did. Well, the judge is going to screw you over when you get to that point. So if you don't have a plan for that, you might as well get your stuff packed right now. I'm just telling you, because that's what's going to happen. Their program is structured for a judge to have to say, and they're in an administrative process. So they're in an administrative court. They don't even have judicial authority. And so they're going to do whatever they want to do to you, and they don't have to give you any rights because they're not from the Constitution. So the only time they have to give you rights is if you sue them. That's pretty much what we figured out. And so that's what we do at the gate. We start out at the gate with that. Why mess around? I've been learning how to cut to the chase. You must hold the court accountable ASAP as soon as they violate your rights. Or I have the couple of lawsuits, like the eviction stopper lawsuit has a lawsuit document in it. You can sue the judge at the gate. You don't even have to wait for the judge to make a ruling because you're suing the judge for being in violation of the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, for being in violation of the Foreign Agent Act of 1938. These are federal laws that these people are supposed to be following. And they're not. So the government doesn't follow their own statutes, codes, or administrative procedures. You all know that. If you're fighting this battle and you've been in court, you know they ain't following none of the rules because they're just ignoring all your shit. So you know they're not following none of them. My lawsuit packages help you address the court and the system violating your rights. Because until you make it fair, the process, you got. Someone told me yesterday, oh, well, I'm not going to get your 1982 civil rights lawsuit package that you structured for foreclosure defense. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and their thing because it's about the process, right? Well, no. Their process is about taking your stuff and kicking you out the door. And if you're following their process, that's where you're headed. That's what their process was structured and designed for. The conventional foreclosure defense process or the conventional defense in court, the conventional anything in court is not going to help you. If you follow the process, they set you up. And they set you up to kick your butt out the door. And you know where we're going with that. Therefore, it's not about the process. Their process is not going to help you. And they have trained they have trained all of us. So not all of us stay trained, but they have trained us in their process that you don't have a chance to fight. And the way they trained you to believe that you don't ever have a chance and you need an attorney. You need an attorney. And whenever you go to file my stuff and they tell you that you need an attorney, you're doing good. You should thank them for the legal advice and let them know that your legal team said that they're not allowed to give you legal advice. So I don't understand how they can be doing that. And so what I say, because people call me all the time. If they don't understand what I'm saying, they get suspicious. You know, they call me for help. And if they don't understand what I'm saying, they get suspicious. And maybe they're freaking out because I don't focus on the lies and the fraud they want to hear me talking about. I don't know. If you want to have a chance to stay in your house, you need to step up and be willing to do whatever it takes. And you need to be willing to do something different if what you're doing right now is not working. I had a guy arguing with me for 20 minutes on the phone one day about his administrative process. Well, at the beginning of our conversation, he was letting me know that he was getting kicked out of his house. Well, no, he didn't use any of my stuff. Well, he used this great administrative process. Start telling me about it, getting all fired up, and then, well, he got mad when I asked him how that's working for him. Yeah. So if you have to play hardball and attack anyone trying to take your property, my program is the program that you need to be in to do that. And I'm talking about attacking the judge at the end. You already know that. And we attack the attorneys also. Someone told me one day, "Oh, I can't attack the judge." I'm thinking in my head, "Well, you better pack your stuff," because I work with a lot of people, and that's the way it is. BC says they will take you to the point where your knowledge fails, and then that's where they hang you. Well, I'm glad you're not in my group, 1,000 Lakers BC, because you wouldn't work it. I hope you got your stuff packed. That's all I'm saying. I mean, with that attitude. But you're kind of right. I mean, the first part of that was right about the knowledge. So why does your knowledge have to fail? I don't know. You got plenty of time. Stuff I know, no one handed it to me. I lived on Google and studied and did the things that I needed to do to understand the stuff that they're doing. And now I'm helping you with that. So I'm helping you cut to the chase so you don't have to do all that. I'm providing the legal documents that you need to do this with. You probably don't know any of that about me. So you should go to winningcourtnow.com and check out my stuff so you have a better idea of what to help you do. So you wouldn't feel like they're gonna kick your butt, because people using my stuff don't feel like that. That's all I got to say, and I think that's obvious from my great Google reviews. So in my program, you will learn how to attack the bar members in court by adding them to your lawsuit as the number one defendant. When you add the attorney that signed to start the foreclosure to your lawsuit as the number one defendant, it's a huge problem. And when the judge helps them and you sue the judge too, that's a huge problem. Or if you got a prosecutor attacking you, or attorneys that you can use a motion for sanctions against them. We filed the $450,000 sanction motion because attorneys are supposed to do a reasonable pre-filing investigation under Rule 11, and they don't. So one of the other things that you can do too, even if you don't mean that you got to stand back and take their crap, because you can file a counterclaim in their offer. You can file a counterclaim in their offer or in their foreclosure and mess them all up. Because what we did was we filed a counterclaim, add the judge to it because the judge is helping them. Yeah. And then when the judge terminated the case when we filed the $5.5 million, and my sister dropped her lawsuit because she's too nice against my bad judgment, but it's her call. They stopped. Well, then they came back 9 months later, sneaked in the back door, had the little sale order, but they didn't provide us any information about them asking for the sale order, that they even got a real sale order, and blah, blah, blah. So I just moved their case over. I moved the attorney's state foreclosure case over to federal court using the court rules and not the statute. They're complaining about it because the statute said this. Well, we didn't use the statute. The statute's not a valid law, and it's very restrictive. We used the court rules, and we moved their case over to federal court. And they are so pissed off right now. And then my sister refiled her lawsuit when they started messing with her again. But this time she's asking for $20 million. And she refiled it in state court, and she served the parties. Well, they ignored her and act like they didn't have to answer. So after we moved her case over to federal court, we actually filed another removal notice and moved her lawsuit, her $28 million lawsuit, over to federal court, along with the docket sheet showing 75 days had passed and they had failed to respond. And we had to top it off a motion for summary judgment because of the fact they hadn't responded in 75 days. Cha-ching chang. Yeah. So we just finished up, and we also filed a sanction motion for $50,000 for immediate expense and medical issues. I just had migraines and all this stuff, and these people doing all this shady stuff to her. Yeah, she's in the military. She was in the military for years. Yeah, and okay, so wait a minute. She found out she didn't have no rights either. No, not just the black people. Nobody has any rights in foreclosure court. I'm sorry. Well, we don't have that problem around here. 10,000 Lakes, BC. Most people go into this foreclosure fight, the biggest mistake they make, and I have a new playlist, and the biggest mistakes, and I got one video in it, but we're about to put a couple more in there. The biggest mistake most people make is having the lender listed as the defendant in your lawsuit. So most people have the lender, and all of those people are written on the front. All those people already made their money. They just put their names on there to cloud the water and to confuse you, and so that they can all be moving to dismiss or different stuff. Yeah, so yeah, we know how that works. So you need to start watching the videos in my channel. Here's the thing: you can challenge court jurisdiction at any time up to 15 years, and after 15 years, I still know how you can get your foot back in the door when you address the issue of fraud, or sue them with the 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit package that doesn't have no time limitation on, and that's why we built it. We like doing stuff that they can't stop with their stupid statutes, and that stuff's on my website, so you can go check out what your options are if you're interested. So we sued the state court judge and then moved the state court case over to the federal court. That's what we did. And you people have so many options if you're willing to forget everything that you thought you knew about the legal system. I'm just throwing it out there. If you're willing to forget the crap that you thought you knew, you can have a lot of fun. And I have people in my program that are having a lot of fun right now. And they're still in the house. If you're an administrative corporate court and not from the Constitution, then you don't have to give anybody any rights. And the strategies that we use, some people say I'm a little crazy, but that's all right. The government had me for 33 months and said I was mentally ill and had to get up off of that stuff and let me go because I was a pain in their butt. And it was helping too many people get out. I don't know why they don't like me. So there is a place in my lawsuit package for you to put your little stuff, okay? And there is a little small space for you to put your little stuff. But remember, we're going after them for, we're addressing federal law violations and that the corporation is not going to want to have on the record or talk about. And one of the main reasons they're not going to want to have on the record and talk about it because they're doing the same thing as everybody else. And they don't want everybody else to find out because that would be ugly for them. So you need to understand that this strategy trumps the lies that they're saying, that they're telling on you. And remember, they never filed the original contract. They never filed the money trail. They didn't file nothing. In my sister's case, they didn't even file an affidavit. And I love to stick the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946 violation in their face. They do not like that at all. And I have done some cool stuff with that. But it's funny how people look at it now, oh, this is not what I need. Well, that's because they have no idea. And they like working really hard and packing up their stuff. So this attack is pretty much undefeated. Now, the only time that it may get smashed in the face is when people don't watch the stinking instructional video and think that my stuff is the same as an attorney's crap or whatever. I just need to fill out these forms and take them over here and wave them in their face, and they're going to go sit down. That's not the way it happens. So some portions of the United States Code has been enacted into positive law and other portions have not. In the case of conflict between the text of the statutes at large and the text of provisions of the United States Code that has not been enacted into positive law, the text of the statutes at large take precedence. So the statute at large, man, I just started looking at them last night. Then I had to put it up because I was about ready to get behind and know my stuff I'm doing today. If I'm looking at that, I cannot wait to incorporate that into what we've been doing. That's going to make our stuff the bomb off the top. Corporate statutes. So incorporate the statutes at large in your lawsuit packages. If you're working on this, you can look up statute at large and figure out how to stick some of it in your stuff. So that's what we need to be doing right now. And we're going to be talking about that in the new expert advice playlist also. So the attorneys are only trained in the new law, not the old law, which is the statutes at large. This new law is called the revised codes and statutes. So if you plan to have a winning pleading in court, you must get your case law from the statutes at large, like my friend has been telling me for a few years. But now I hear, and now I see. Now, this will give you some idea of why I don't focus on all the nuts and bolts about what happened. We need to be addressing the process that they're putting you through, the illegal part of the process. I already know that they're violating you with the policies and procedures. So, not to say it's not about what they say you did or didn't do. So I'm going to make that new playlist, expert advice, on my channel. And the first part of all the titles in my videos is what I need to have YouTube show my stuff. The second part of the title is actually what you're going to learn about. So that's another little tip that you have to. I'm learning all these things as I go too. So I'm sure it would have been nice if I had told you this a long time ago, right? Yeah, well, I'm just now learning myself. Okay, so we ran out of time. I was going to spend a little more time on a couple other things, but we're getting close to the top of the hour right now. So anybody, you guys have any questions that are related to my program that you'd like to know? I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to answer the questions, related to their stuff. But if you have any questions, I'll go ahead and share them with you. And I'm also going to send you guys a link to, here is a link to my eliminated property tax lawsuit package. You're going to have to, on Google, everything is on Google. That's where you would study the statute at large. I'm assuming. I don't know. I pulled them up, but I didn't have all of them, and I was studying them, looking at them on Google. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Google has what you need. You just need to find it. Now, you guys, I also have a non-judicial lawsuit package I'm going to give you guys a link to. There's no update to get, Miracle. I haven't done an update yet. And when I do, there's no update to get. What you got is working. And most people are worried about an update and having use what they have. So I haven't done an update yet. I'm working on that. It'll be new videos. It'll be a new package with the updates. So that's how that's going to work. Otherwise, I'd have to have 20 people spending all day just updating stuff people got last year, and I don't have time to do all that. So I'm just going to throw that out there right now so that everybody knows. And also, I'm going to leave you guys a link to my online course. I put together an online course for, well, the judicial online course has been structured for a while. The non-judicial online course is new, and I think I have about maybe 10 or 12 people in it right now. So here is a link to it. Now, my online course I structured for property owners or paralegals um, who want to help people save their property. Um, Property owners, investors who invested in, need to protect their rental properties. This is set up to where you can actually teach a group of people that will be your foreclosure defense team, your foreclosure offense team, and you can have them all sit down and they can handle the foreclosures even if they're in different states or several foreclosures in the same state at different places in the process. This course is structured for all of that. I'm going to give you guys a link to both courses, because people that are in non-judicial situations don't have an opportunity to get in a court until they're facing the eviction process, and that's the way they want you. That's the way they want it. They've done that by design, and then they tell you that they want to work with you and do a loan modification. They want to do all this stuff, and then all they do is run you out of time. And when your month's up, they're selling your house. It's sad, but that's what they do. So I have other packages on my website also. So you guys can go to my website and check everything out. That's exactly what they did. Ran her out of time. Well, it's not too late to get back up in their face. You just got to go to the website, take a look at your options, and make a move. So that's all the value I have to share with you guys tonight. I want to thank you for the privilege of sharing your time. And I will see you guys in the next. Nana says she can't wait to get started. Boxing. You're gonna be punching them in the face, Patriot Nana. The difference between boxing and punching them in the face is that when you're boxing, they're punching back. They're not gonna be punching back. You're gonna be punching them in the face. So, have you got your package yet, Patriot Nana? Are you facing judicial or non-judicial foreclosures? Oh, JM, you tell me. See, I don't spend much time answering those things because those are questions from you haven't done your homework. Because what I just got done telling you is that their statutes is in violation of the Constitution, and everything that they're doing is BS. So I don't know what you think their response would be. So this person, I don't know who your name is. Facebook user just says Facebook user. So yeah, you guys need to go to the website and take a look at the packages and read the information about them. So do I have a package for illegal eviction? So this is the part that I get stressed out over. Okay, it's not about the illegal eviction. It's about the court process. Okay, you can sue them for the court process, for the illegal eviction, for the illegal foreclosure, for the illegal whatever. It's not about eviction. It's about the court process. You want to sue them for the process. Okay, non-judicial. Yeah. So if it just started, you need to get your lawsuit filed in federal court and then serve all the parties. And then I would make a file stamp copy. I would place a file stamp copy on the public record. Actually, I would place your lawsuit on the public record before you filed it, and then have it stamped so it's placed on the public record. Then file it, and then place a stamped in the public record file stamp copy of it as an exhibit to a less pendants, and then you want to place that on the public record next to your lien. And then I would take a copy of the lien, the less pendants, and the lawsuit, and then I would take a copy of that stuff over to the corporation that's supposed to sell your property. Sometimes it's the sheriff, sometimes it's their buddies working. They got some shady crap going on. And then you want to provide them copies of your title dispute. You want to make sure your title dispute is in the same place with your property deed, so you could do it as less pendants against your property with your lawsuit attached to it as an exhibit. Otherwise, they won't let you do it. You can do it that way as an exhibit, and that way, when they look at it, they will, wait a minute, there's a title dispute. They'll be forced to look at the exhibit and see your lawsuit. Otherwise, the attorney's going to lie to the investors and tell them, "Oh, we got a handle. We're going to kick her ass. Don't worry about it." So I have a eviction stopper package on my website, so I can tell whoever this is you haven't done much homework. So I'm always telling everybody, go do your homework. Go to my website, do your homework. Take a look at the packages and stuff. And remember, guys, in my program, my job is to help you learn, to educate you, to help you get educated, not to make it easy. So I know people get pissed when I tell them that, but that's, what kind of coach would I be if I made it easy for you? I made it easy for you, then they're going to smack you in the face when you go down there. And that's not the way we do things on my program. So I'm going to see you guys in the next live stream. Oh, I'm going to be posting another video on Tuesday. It'll probably be the first video in the new expert. I wanted to call it legal advice, but I didn't want to do that. My wife's would probably have a heart attack if I did that. So I'm just going to call it expert advice, because that's pretty much what it is. I think I'm expert at the stuff that I talk about. And unless someone comes along and can prove that I'm not, jam me up, then I'm going to go along with saying that I am. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys in the next live stream.